So very good morning everyone. Let's quickly take a look at one question and also see how the examiner evaluates the marks, the marking scheme and effort. Uh, Say this question comes for 5 marks. The question is U Limited is a large conglomerate with a number of subsidiaries. It is preparing CFS as on 31st March 2022 as per notified Ind AS. The FS are due to be approved for issue on 15th May 2022. Every line of the problem matters for your answer. So that is why pay full attention. So the FS are due to be approved for the issue on 15th May 2022. Following are the various transactions that have taken place in some of subsidiaries during the year. G is a wholly owned subsidiary of U engaged in management consulting services. On 31st January 2022, the board of directors of U Limited decided to discontinue the business of G from 30th April 2022. So they made a public announcement of the decision on 15th February 2022. G does not have many assets or liabilities. It is estimated that outstanding trade receivables would be settled by 31st May 2022. U Limited would collect any amount still owed by G Limited's customers after 31st May 2022. They have offered the employees of G Limited termination payments or alternative employment opportunities. So, following are some of the details relating to G Limited. On date of public announcement, it is estimated that G Limited it would have to pay 540 lakhs as termination payments to employees, and the cost for relocation of employees who would remain with the group would be 60 lakhs. Every line I'm highlighting has some meaning in the answer, so that is a specific reason why I'm doing it. So the actual termination payments totaling 520 lakhs were made in full on 15th May 2022. As per latest estimates made on 15th May 2022, the total relocation cost is 63 lakhs, and G Limited had taken a property on lease which was expiring on 31st March 2026. So the period of future lease payments is 430 lakhs. On 15th May 2022, G Limited made a payment to the lessor of 420 lakhs in return for early termination of lease. So the loss after tax for G Limited for the year ended 31st March 2022 was 400 lakhs. G Limited made few further operating losses totaling 60 lakhs till 30th April 2022. Determine the provision that the company is required to make as per Ind AS 37. So does this question relate to only Ind AS 37? Absolutely not, because three standards are connected in this question. One is, I hope all of you guessed it. Just drop in the comments. Let me see how many of you are able to connect what all standards this question is connected with. So the standards are, first one is Ind AS 105, then Ind AS 10, and also Ind AS 37. So these are the various standards this question connects. So now let's see how the marking will be done for this, because that is the main purpose. Begin sharing this question as a base. For example, if you write from here, that is from this point, we'll see the marking, then we'll see the solution. This starting the discontinued operation, starting from there till, if you write till here, that is right before up to here, it will be 2 marks. Then to mention about Ind AS 10 and also the giving reference to the total provision to be created 520 lakhs, so it will be 1 mark for this. Then comes to the relocation cost, no effect for that, it will be recognized on same basis, 0.5 for this and 0.5 for this. So 2 1 1, and then 1 mark for this last mentioning the final answer. So this is exactly how marking will be done. So you can keep this, factor these things in mind when you write the exam. So now let's quickly see this solution. So a discontinued operation is one that is discontinued in the period or classified as HFS as of the year end. So the operation of G Limited were discontinued on 30th April, and it will be treated as discontinued operation. Specifically, these things carry weightage. You need to reproduce, because this is with regarding to addressing the provisions in Ind AS 105. So in this case, then you have to conclude it does not meet the criteria for HFS, because the company is terminating its business and does not hold this for sale. This is a beautiful para, and you should mention these things, be it Ind AS 10, Ind AS 8, a lot of you cannot just give the answer around, because these things carry a lot of weightage more than the answers for this kind of questions. I have shared the Ind AS 8 and 10 questions also, especially Ind AS 34 also, test your knowledge 6 question. In case if you missed to watch it, don't miss out those questions. And as per para 72 of Ind AS 37 provisions, contingent assets restructuring includes sale or termination of line of business. A constructive obligation to restructure arises when two scenarios. One is entity has detailed formal plan and has raised a valid expectation in those affected that it will carry out the restructuring by starting to implement the plan or announce the main features. So in this case, board of directors have decided to terminate from 30th April. So the formal announcement when it was made on 15th February. So a valid expectation incident termination will be implemented. So restructuring provision, it includes only the direct expenditures. So in this case, the relocation, the cost for employees will not be considered. So the termination payments, it fulfills the criteria and as per Ind AS 10. So now the Ind AS 10, first was Ind AS 105, then Ind AS 10, then Ind AS 37. So Ind AS 10, events that provide additional evidence existing should be reflected in the FS. So the company should provide for 520 lakhs, and the relocation costs relating to future conduct of business are not liabilities, and hence they will be recognized on the same basis as if they arose independently of restructuring. So they are not part of restructuring expenses. Very, very important. This line also carries a lot of marks. Don't make mistakes in this. And the lease will be regarded as a owner's contract, and a provision would be made at the lower of cost of fulfilling the contract or any penalties. So provision for 410 lakhs will be made. So till now, four marks is 4 to 4.5 is in your pocket. And finally, last one, total provision required is 520 plus 410 930 lakhs. If you write all of this, if you deliver your answers like this for every question that is going to come tomorrow, there is no way you lose a single mark. Keep these things in mind. All the rest, keep going, best wishes, stay focused.